So in this video, I'm going to show you some console commands and construction tips that I use constantly when building. And to access console commands, you don't need to buy any mods or anything like that. You just type cheatstick and then press F1. And I'm going to, all the console commands that I use, I'll put in the description. So if you want to just look at the description, copy, paste, that'll be there for you. So the first thing is God mode. And that's pretty straightforward. That way you don't take any damage. It's God mode, so you can fall and all that good stuff. Next up, of course, is loghack. Also, you can use stonehack for building with stones. Anyways, now that the simple stuff's out of the way, there was a enemy around here, but let's just use Kelvin. Here's another thing. Let's say Kelvin or enemies are getting on your nerves. You just really want to remove living, and bam. No more enemies, no more Kelvin. Okay, so next up, I'm going to use superjump. This allows you to jump about 4 stories. So I use that to climb my structure, like this one here. And this one here, spawnitem 408, this is how to get half logs. This comes in handy when strutting at very extreme heights. I mean, this is not crazy high, but I'll show you what I mean. So you get up here. See how when you super jump, if you have anything in your hands, sometimes you'll catch. So just remove all objects, all items from your hands. Makes it a little bit easier. Now, let me show you the 408 trick I use. So it's going to take a little bit of timing, but spawn item 408. And that one went. Let me try it again. Let me look down. So that, we want to catch that. So this helps when strutting in tight spots, when you're really high up in the air, because sometimes you don't want to have to do this. Pull your axe out, make a half log. So the spawn 408 will save you some time. And when you're working on structures like this, where you're constantly laying down logs, working backwards, you're falling off. So the super jump comes in handy. Like I said earlier, you can just climb your structure, get right back up to the top. Sometimes you'll be going and you might get to the edge and you start to slip. You can actually use super jump and you'll catch yourself. So up next, I'm going to go to a different server to show you goto coordinates. So let's go there. So I'm here in a different server. This is my 65-story tower build. And let's say I was working at the top, I accidentally fell off and didn't want to spend 3 minutes climbing back up. I can use goto coordinates. But first, you got to find your coordinates. So to do that, you have to have cheatstick activated. And if you look in the middle, you see the TX, TY, TZ. These are your actual coordinates where you're standing. So, and I drop all decimals, so I don't worry about the decimals on the end. But to remove this screen, just hit F2 again. And I'm going to travel right now up to the top of this right hand. So to do that, of course, I already know the coordinates. I'm going to plug in my X, Y, and Z axis. -16, 14. Drop all the decimals. And it takes it a few seconds. But you can instantly fast travel up and you don't have to climb all those stairs. Now, if you're fast traveling to a point that has a floorboard, or a floor, I'm sorry, sometimes you'll get stuck in it the first time. So don't remove all of your planks. Just add a couple of points to your y-axis. So let's say I was stuck in the floor and I couldn't get out. You don't have to do anything. Add two points to the y and keep everything else the same. And you'll spawn back in above it. So, and don't go too crazy with the Y, because if you got floors above you, then you're going to get stuck in the next level. And next thing I want to show you, because this definitely comes in handy when using your goto coordinates, is if you hit F1 and use your up and down arrow, you can scroll through all of your recent console commands. So, like if you accidentally fall off, you don't even have to wait. Just hit F1, whoops, and find your correct coordinates, and there you go. So next up, I like to work during the daytime, so I'm going to show you how to change the time of day. So So set time of day, and if I want to make it 8 o'clock in the morning, just do set time of day space 8. And if I want to make it 1 p.m., I would do set time day 13 for 1300 hours. And you got 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Now, don't ask me what time zone it is because we are on a fictional island. Next up, I'm going to show you how to remove the trees around you. And this comes in handy if you just kind of want to see the topography, or if you're working and trees are in your way and you just need to see. It'll remove all the trees, reduce them to stumps, but they will regrow. And it doesn't matter if you have the tree regrowth off like I do. Let me run out of the area and I'll show you what I mean. Speed run on, and let's just go over here. Also, if you leave the server, same thing, the trees will regrow, but you can see trees are back. So let me remove them again. If you want to, of course, remove them permanently, let me take speedy run off. If you want to remove them permanently, you have to remove the stumps. But that comes in handy if you want to clear out trees and all. At least saves you a few swipes of the axe. Now, the last thing that I want to show you is I've been building a lot of these tall supports and tapering them down into a single support to make it look clean. Now, I've built this right here to kind of prove my example. I tried to find the backup save file when I had all the supports in, but I'd already overwritten it, so no biggie. And I'll show you in the future probably a bigger example of this. But anyways, you have to pretend like there's supports all the way up to the top of that arm on both sides. But here's a quick way to remove all of these. So instead of, working your way up, you got to pretend like you're way up there. Instead of having to do like this, all the way down, just, working your way down, you can do this. Just whatever support, like this is going to be the support that I leave, disconnect it from the other structures, the other supports. So I've made this very simple. I'll just detach it completely. And then you can, hopefully I have my bow and arrow. You can use explosive arrows. Make sure structure damage is on. And you can use the explosive arrows to tear down the supports that you don't want. And I just use explosive arrows because if you try to use your axe, it does take a long time, especially I think the bigger your structure is. But anyways, that's just a quick way to remove all of that. Again, this is kind of a quick example, but I mentioned it in my last video, so I kind of wanted to explain it further. And then if you're having to make explosive arrows, the last thing, in case you don't know, this works with addallitems. This anything that you want. So if you're making explosive arrows, you're constantly using those arrows, explosives, all that. That is the last tip that I have for you. But anyways, I wanted to make this video because a lot of my builds, especially recently, these are my go-tos that I use constantly. I have people ask from time to time, so I just wanted to make this video. But anyways, if you're still with me, thank you for watching. Hey, let me know which ones I missed, which tips you use. But anyways, that's it for this one, and hope to catch you in the next video.